This week on the Midnight Gamescast, we talk about Doom and Farpoint, and yeah, it's Skyrim. More Skyrim. It's always Skyrim.
God damn it.
This is the weekly wrap-up. This is the Midnight Gamescast. We record every Tuesday afternoon at midnight, and then we bring it to YouTube every Wednesday as the weekly wrap-up. That's this right here. You found it. It's all of us hanging out with you, the loyal Gamecats.
Are you going to use my kitty?
Sure, we'll use your kitty.
Your kitty's in the mix?
I mean, the cat that lives outside.
The stray?
Is this the one that attacked you from the dumpster?
Yes.
Scruffs.
Yes.
Scruffs, yeah.
You said he wasn't scruffy when I sent you the picture, but oh my god, he is...
She's horrible at naming things.
No,
that name
He always has, like, blood all over him and, like, patches of hair missing.
Really?
Yeah.
He looked pretty nice.
He's always cat fights.
Yeah.
Where it takes us 8 goddamn minutes to talk about video games. Every Thursday is PlayStation VR Theater. Thank you. We should do it in unison, I think.
We should.
And every Friday as viewer takeover, when we let you, the loyal Gamecats, take over the show. But that's like forever from now. Lots of scruffs today, I guess.
Yes.
I forgot to shave. I got a little bit of scruff going on myself. As always, I'm Brian Paul, and to my right, your left, the king of all VR kings, Jeremy King.
Hello. Hey, how did I get Rec Room downloaded onto my console without actually going to download Rec Room?
I snuck into your apartment last night.
Creepy.
I bought Super Hot
The
VR
ghost followed you.
and downloaded Rec Room. I did all the things I've been telling you to do for weeks while you were sleeping.
They're all there.
And more.
I swear to God, I got home.
And more.
Turned my console. I haven't. Oh, should I look under my bed? Are those lost dildos now under my bed?
You know, we haven't made dildo jokes in probably 50
so long.
episodes.
It's been like
so
50
long.
episodes.
None of these people know what you're referring to.
No.
But there used to be a running gag that Jeremy said there were dildos under my bed, and I said no, just a bunch of starving children.
Gag. Someone was gagging on them because it wasn't a gag, it was real.
Know what's going on? Because to my left, you're right, the one, the only, Michelle Varricchione.
It was a great time to cut off Jeremy. Well done, sir.
It's always a good time to cut off Jeremy.
I think so.
True. Verifiable.
Verifiable. Indeed.
Okay. You guys always just have these dramatic pauses where I'm like, are you going to keep talking or can I take my coffee? I don't know what's going on.
Know. You're getting a new candle collection going on here.
Little candle collection. This is my VR candle collection. It was unintentional for sure. I love Resident Evil, so I had to get that. And then someone was like, did you get the Skyrim VR candle? Oh no, where are my gauges? Oh well, no gauges today.
Oh well.
Failed. Epic fail. We're starting the show over. Get my gauges. No. They all smell okay.
Extra spot for your pen.
Well, Resident Evil stinks.
I thought you meant the game. I totally lost track of the
I was like,
conversation.
wait.
Well, no, game's epic. Fallout definitely smells the best.
Yeah, you can do it. There you go. Now you can have one behind your ear.
I can't imagine this is sanitary. All right.
Yeah, it's probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. VR candles.
Yeah,
I don't want to get any more. I don't want like a super hot candle. I don't want a Rec Room
What would
candle.
that smell like?
Ooh.
I don't know, like sweat. All
Iron,
these things just
blood.
smell like sweat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
All right, so let's tackle some housekeeping.
Let's do it.
Housekeeping?
If this is your first time watching the channel, Jesus, I'm so sorry. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, because
please do.
That's a thing. We appreciate it.
If you're here, you might as well.
Yep. And if you really like us and other people like us, are there other
and
people
walks on
like
the
us?
beach
I don't know.
And pina coladas.
and pina coladas.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds nice.
A couple more months.
Boy, do I miss drinking.
She's gonna
She'll be
make
like, her first one sip. She'll be like,
she's gonna make a great mother.
I will.
put SpongeBob on. Put it on. Plop the kid in front.
Start the blender.
Yeah, baby. Price
Stop
is right.
That's not how it's gonna go down.
If you want to talk to people like us or people that are in our community, make sure you go over to the PSVR Without Parole Gamecats community on PlayStation 4. Going strong. Holy crap. It's like
incredible.
Twice the numbers we had a month ago.
It's like a snowball.
Yeah,
It's
every
just
time
going.
I try to drop in at least one today to see what the new conversations are all about, and I can't even keep up. There's so much stuff going on. It's a lot of Skyrim, but it's really branching out to everything else right now because there's so many great games to play.
People still playing Spark?
I don't know.
I haven't heard much talk about it.
Now that the tournament's over?
A couple of them are going back to Super Hot again.
Yeah.
As they should. As I should, too.
I will be soon.
Yeah, we keep hearing that. I don't
I'm
believe
finally
you.
going to be buying it.
You playing
soon.
You playing Super Hot is like reports of Bigfoot in the wild. It's like, it's out there, but it's so hard to believe.
Just keep watching. Maybe you'll see it.
So let's talk about some PlayStation VR games. Last week we got Doom VFR on PlayStation VR. That was an interesting take on the Doom formula by Bethesda. It's well, I'm sure we'll talk about more Doom in just a minute. But this week we got some really quality titles.
Snow Fortress,
which I just did a quick live stream of before, and now the video.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but the video is now missing. I might have accidentally deleted it. I've done this before. Wouldn't be a
well, it melted. It was too warm in here.
Maybe. So I gotta do another quick video of that. But it's a
bummer.
We watched it on PlayStation VR Theater. And
yeah.
I was like, this is stupid.
Dry.
So what does the fox do?
Stares at you and tells you what to do.
He tells you what to do. Okay.
Yeah.
All I saw was him staring at you. I was like, "Can you pet it? What's
you throw
going
a
on?"
snowball at him?
I threw a snowball at him. I picked up presents and threw that at him. I picked up blocks that you build a fortress with. I threw that at him.
Nothing,
and all he does, it's like some really silly physics where he just kind of falls back and doesn't really react.
No.
It's just like if you
so
push the statue.
There.
But the game is
how much was it?
$15.
Oof! So you expect him to fall over for $15?
I expect him to turn to Conquer and start swearing at me.
There you go.
Yeah. Fuck you and your snowballs.
Throw a snowball right back.
Exactly. But what I will say is that for the brief amount of time I played this game, I was like, this feels really good. The move controls are spot on. You just hold the trigger to build a snowball and then you toss it, and everything felt right. At a certain point, it was like level 2, and I was getting my butt kicked by the AI. So I just grabbed a piece of my fort, a block of ice, and held it up and used it as a shield. And I was like, oh, okay, this game lets you
can actually do. You can
you
interact with the environment a little.
But it seemed like it should have been a free Rec Room game. I'm like, if this is a thing you want to do with your family, it's probably a should we. I enjoyed it for the brief amount of time I spent with it.
Even for the $15.
I don't know if it's worth $15.
Yeah.
But I've got no complaints yet, other than the fact that it seems kind of low budget, but everything else seems kind of spot on.
Too,
yep.
Right? So,
I'll spend a lot more time with it. Maybe get a review up there this week sometime. Who knows?
Who knows what could happen?
Maybe not. I don't know.
No promises.
But also we got Justice League VR, the complete experience. In case you had gotten previously the incomplete experience, which I think actually
it's now been completed.
I think there are pieces of it on phones and like all that Google crap.
Yeah.
So now that's a thing too. Maybe we'll talk more about that later as well. What do you think, Michelle?
I think we should begin this episode the way we begin every episode with a little game. Should we or shouldn't we? 60 seconds on the clock. Clock up on the counter. Way that Jeremy likes it.
It's a crumbly sound because it's
what was that?
Already Christmas wrapped.
Christmas
for
wrapped.
under the tree. Yes, this
with a bow.
Yeah, bow. Yeah.
And we have 60 seconds to tell you what we have been playing or watching, and whether you should be playing or watching as well.
Michelle, you ready? On your mark, get set, go.
Bang. I don't know if I was ready or not.
I'm glad I didn't.
I have been playing Doom, and it has been a lot of fun. I'm only a couple hours into it right now, so I feel like I should be finishing it soon, actually. You said, what, like 4 hours away?
Like 4 hours, 3.5 hours with Uneasy.
Uneasy, okay.
So that
I'm not
uneasy.
Uneasy,
right through the whole game.
All right. Yeah, no, I did. I'm like the medium level, whatever it was called.
Hurt Me Plenty?
Hurt Me Plenty, yes. I am on Hurt Me Plenty.
We all said that before?
Really fun. I started I started first with the aim controller, and I was not enjoying the game.
Okay.
At all. The controls were actually really hard to get accustomed to, and I was like, I don't know how to move or do this and that. And then finally, the next day, I started it with the DualShock, and I'm like, oh, everything makes sense now. This is awesome. So I'm having way more fun, and I'm like blasting through. And yeah, good game. Should we? We should.
And we should. Done. All right, fantastic. Well done. I mean, let's be fair. Is this what you're going to talk about too?
Yeah.
Well, then, hey, on your mark, get set, and go.
Okay, so I also
shortest wrap up ever
played Doom,
yeah, right.
And I just went straight to the DualShock. I didn't want to deal with the aim controller at the time, and I know the motion controls is something that I'd like to try and see what they're all about. But I just wanted to get into it the easiest way without having to deal with learning the controls.
Right.
So I just jumped in with the DualShock, and I thought the controls, everything was pretty solid. I love the fact that you can choose any kind of movement. You can just free move, which then, thanks to what the live stream, I think Lewis Knight had told me, oh, do the smooth, you know, and I switched it, and it changes the game.
Yeah, as soon as I switched it too, I was like, oh, everything's great now.
Teleportation before, like I had played the tutorial, was still fine too. But yeah, very solid game. And also I played about an hour of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Switch, and so far, yes, you should. But Doom is actually really fast-paced, wicked smooth.
Music's epic.
Yeah, the music actually is really decent for what it's doing. I think it's really solid. I've never played a fast-paced game in VR like that. Everything I've done so far is pretty, slower demo-like experiences and shit, besides Skyrim, which you don't move around like that in Skyrim. But yeah, definitely a should. I think it's a good game.
A should.
You should.
Do you watch the show?
No.
Okay. Okay. You're in the majority.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, in that case, I think we all know what I'm going to talk about. On your mark, get set, and go. So I was watching Netflix last night, and there's this show on. It's a Netflix documentary series, right?
This isn't what I thought you were going to talk about.
Always expect the unexpected on the Midnight Gamescast, and it's called Shot in the Dark. And it's a midnight Gamescast special. No, it's a Netflix documentary series, aka reality television show.
What's it called?
Shot in the Dark.
Shot in the Dark.
And it's about stringers. Did you ever see the Jake Gyllenhaal movie, Nightcrawler?
Oh yeah.
So you know what he does? He goes out in the middle of the night and he tries to capture news stuff, stuff that happens, like fires and car fires and
freelance photography,
and people getting shot and all this stuff, so they can sell it to newspapers and TV stations, so their stuff can be bought and then shown on the air. Pays a lot of money. So this is like a reality show that follows these group of people, like these 3 different teams around LA, I think, and it's fascinating, but also nerve-wracking. Like you're watching and you're like, is this guy gonna get killed in this car fire? He doesn't.
It's real,
Spoilers.
like a real,
It's real.
actual. It's not like a mockumentary type of thing.
No, it's real, and it's really well done, and it's very interesting because it's a competitive business, and so they always pull the camera out and to show a map of LA, and they always show where all the different drivers are heading toward the scene of the crime. Who's gonna get there first? Who's gonna get the best footage? And it's intense.
Crazy.
It's intense.
What was this called again?
Shot in the Dark.
Shot in the Dark.
Do you start to root for certain?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like one guy, you're like, oh, I hate that guy. He's such a dick, and blah blah blah, and and then you see the interactions between them and how they think of each other.
Yeah.
And so I think there is a little bit of that added drama for TV.
Yeah.
But it comes across really genuine, which so many reality TV shows just look totally scripted.
Yeah.
And so this is refreshing.
Right.
But then this is not the kind of thing you want to put on to go to sleep to. Because you're like, okay, I can only get 5 hours of sleep before I have to be up, and then you watch 7 episodes, and you're like, well, now time to get up.
Yeah, you just get hooked, huh?
Yeah. So now that that's out of the way, I'd like to talk about Doom a little bit.
Okay.
Tell us, what do you think?
So you're all wrong, and I hate saying that, but you guys really suck. Both of you.
Go on.
Yeah.
We've been told.
No, I'm just kidding. The problem with Doom is that leading up to launch, we saw the same thing over and over and over. We saw teleportation. We didn't see any full locomotion, right? And so we're all like, how's this going to control? What are the gameplay mechanics like? And I really think that is a knee-jerk reaction at the last minute. Bethesda was like, crap, we're going to get some real
hate.
Real hate for this.
Yeah.
And so I think what they did at the last minute was like, okay, well, we're going to make this into a first-person shooter if that's what you want. And so they gave us DualShock 4 controls. They gave us aim controls, which are okay. I think DualShock 4, if you're playing it like a first-person shooter, fantastic. It feels like a first-person shooter.
It does.
But teleportation isn't an option. Teleportation is necessity. There's no jump button. So every so often you're like, I have to get to that ledge all the way up there. How do I do it? And you're like, oh, teleportation. You hold down the trigger and you jump up there.
Even when I was fighting with bosses too, I was moving, and I'm like, okay, I have to teleport because I have to go
but see,
get up here.
That gives you a glimpse into what.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy,
right?
Mixing it up.
Right? I thought you learned, and so I did the same thing I always do.
Yep, you did.
I'm never going to learn.
You're never going to learn.
And so it gives us a glimpse into what I think Bethesda meant to give us all along, was that these move-controlled guns,
Yeah.
which immediately, the second you get into Doom VFR with move controls, everything looks awesome. It's like one-to-one, you know.
Well, the hands are awkward when you load in with the DualShock. They're like this.
Right.
You know, and
until you get a weapon, and then
then
all
they
down
change.
there, and it makes sense. So what you do with the move controls, and this is, no one's giving it a chance because Bethesda gave us the option to play with standard controllers. And so people like me, I played for like an hour or two with the DualShock and the aim, and then I tried to drop in mid-game with move controls, and it went horribly. Because I didn't train myself to use them until I was in the middle of like this big fight with a bunch of like satanic monsters.
And you're like, oh my god, what's going on?
What's going on? How do I do this?
Demons are killing me.
But what it does is it forces you to use teleportation because there's no locomotion at all with the move controls. And so when you hold down the button to do teleportation, everything slows down. Like, right?
Yeah.
And so that gives you a second to be like, what's my next move? This is a strategic game now where you're like, I legit need to like, okay, there's a boss over there, and I need to teleport behind him, or there's a guy holding up a shield, I need to get behind him, you know, and you start treating it like more like Super Hot than a first-person shooter. Yeah. And even the weapon wheel, you bring that up, and that slows down time. And this is, I think, the way the game was meant to be played. The biggest problem people have with it, though, there's no click turning. There's no like button to go, okay, I'm looking this way or this way. It's only a 180-degree flip, so it's more like playing Brookhaven, but in Doom, which is very confusing at first. But what it again trains you to do is it actually trains you to get up off your couch and start turning around in your living room,
moving your head a little bit,
moving your body.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, because you can turn obviously your own body and your own head all the way to the right, all the way to the left without turning yourself around.
Yeah,
right.
And so technically, that's all you need is the 180 flip.
Yeah,
right. If you can, that means you suddenly have a full range of motion. But it's so hard to get used to that because we've been trained that VR does this one thing one way, and now they've given us the option, and now everyone's like, oh, I'm not going to give move controls the time of day because there's no click turning, there's no this. I want free motion. I want raw data controls. I want the Solus Project controls.
We want it all.
We want it all. And here Bethesda is giving us 3 control options. Yeah. And really, I think the aim in DualShock 4 everyone just went right to those, and now no one's giving moves a chance. Do I wish that there was click turning on the moves? Absolutely. But without them, I think it's an amazing game, and I think that it's totally underrated. And that's been making my review really hard to write. Yeah. Because I don't want to go into this like without the knowledge of every single control scheme and every difficulty level. And of course, those classic maps are awesome. Do you guys get to play any classic Doom maps?
No. Do you have to finish the game for that?
You have to find collectibles in the environment. And the collectibles are like these little Doom figurines.
Okay.
Of like the Doom Marine dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you find those, and every time you find one of those...
I don't think I found any yet.
They're hidden. Keep looking.
Keep looking, yeah.
So the classic Doom levels look awesome. It's like playing the old 90s game from the inside. It's
nice.
It's crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So overall, you enjoyed it?
It's alright. Yeah, no, I love Doom VFR. It's not in like my top 5 or anything, but it's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
thought it was great.
I think people need to give the move controls another shot. Like really go into it from the tutorial, start from the basics, and
start over.
Start a whole new
over.
Game,
yeah. Pretend like you don't have any other option, and like really play this game. I think the way it was meant to be played.
I gotta tell you, that easy setting is fucking pathetic.
Wait a minute. You started on easy. I watched your stream last night.
Yeah.
You did easy, and
then I died like 5 times. Yeah. At that last guy.
You know what? I wasn't going to bring that up, but I was like, I'm on the medium setting, and you died way more than me, and I'm like, what is
I had barely eaten, and I was ravenous, and I fucking drank some Jameson and ginger, and it made you like that, like, I'm just gonna shoot him in the head, and you stand right in front of him, you know? And so basically...
But shooting them in the head is their weak spot.
But when I was watching you play, I was like, this is the problem. Like, you barely used teleportation.
Oh, I barely did, yeah. Unless they turned blue and you could smash the shit out of them.
And so easy should have been so much easier for you, but you weren't using this game to its advantage.
No, oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I almost went to slap him out of habit.
Like 2 weeks.
That is, yeah.
The curse has been broken.
It has.
All right.
Or shit, maybe it has.
You think they're coming after me? I always wonder. I'm like, am I going to hear the sirens and then just get a knock on the door and be like, I'm not home?
Right?
I'm not.
Yep. Sorry.
No one here today.
No one here but us chickens.
There's a lot of them coming too.
They're all after. They found me finally. Yeah. It's a real shame.
It was inevitable.
Libyans.
The other thing I want to talk about real quick is that Justice League VR complete experience. Don't waste your money. This is pretty much garbage that they're charging you for.
Wow.
It's 6 mini games, but I've been calling them tech demos because that's way more accurate.
Yeah.
I feel like they forgot to finish making the games for each of these, and it doesn't feel good. It looks okay, but none of the controls are very good.
Yeah.
And playing as members of the Justice League should be way more fun than this.
You think it'd be way more of a superhero feel.
Yeah, for a couple more dollars, go buy Megaton Rainfall.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and then you can get a real superhero game.
Yeah.
And actually have fun.
And fly around.
Right.
Yeah.
Real powerful. Which,
Fly
Justice
different
League
galaxies.
does not make you do, so highly not recommended. It's a shouldn't we through and through, or as Jeremy would say, it's a shouldn't.
Shouldn't. Yep.
All right. We also had a bunch of news this week. Sony strangely invited 1,400 PlayStation Plus members to try out PlayStation VR. They said, we're going to send you a unit with Skyrim, with move controls, with a camera. All you need to do is supply the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
And they said 1,400. Does this seem like a really low number to you? This is like the weirdest, smallest test market ever.
Yeah.
And they said, we're going to send it to you for free. And if after 2 weeks you want to keep it, we're just going to charge your account $300. $300. Good deal. Right?
And if not, send it back.
And if you don't want to keep it, send it back. And it was totally a free rental.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I was like, this is an interesting idea because as Desiree and I were saying earlier this week.
How do they just pick people at random? How does that work?
Yeah, how does it,
I think
Sony account people just randomly send it to them?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're doing PlayStation Plus members.
Right.
And they are also doing, obviously, people without any PlayStation VR trophies.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So I think that's probably
that
how
was
they
going to be
narrowed
my
it
next
down.
one. How would you know?
That's how they narrowed it down, I think, but it turns out that so many people accepted the offer that they actually sent out more offers than PlayStation VR units they had available.
Really?
So this is actually turning out to be a good idea for them. I'm wondering if they'll expand this number to be like 14,000, 140,000.
Yeah, 1,400 isn't that much in the grand scheme of anything, really.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
No.
But if all 1,400 units are getting sent out, then this is a successful trial by them, and they should just keep supplying. And why not, right?
Creative way to just fucking force it in your hand and pay for it. Here.
Take the damn VR.
Because if you've never put a VR headset on your head, you still have no idea why we're so excited about it.
Yeah.
Like that. It doesn't.
There's no way to
That's
tell
so
somebody.
cool though. That's such a great idea.
Yeah. And I never would have expected this from Sony. If anything, I expected that more GameStops or more Best Buys would just have demo stations. You walk in, there's a Sony rep there going, "Hey, you want to try the PlayStation VR? Just sanitize it for you."
Yeah.
Probably
Or not.
specially skilled in sanitization processes.
Yep.
Sanitization.
Is it sanitization not a word?
Sanitization.
Sanitization. Yeah, because there's a sanitization.
It just sounded weird.
Sanitization.
It sounds weird.
It's December. Maybe it's sanitization.
Sanitization. Wow.
Anyway, so that's a good idea.
Next.
Also, Skyrim patch 1.02 came out just yesterday, or the day before, depending on when you're watching this. It might have come out last week if you're watching this late.
True.
It's
Or fall.
Well, last
finally-
year if you're watching it. Anyways.
You're like, what do you
late,
mean?
How late are you?
Yeah.
Patch 1.02 included smooth turning with the moves, which is something, the thing that everybody's been asking for, which is fantastic, and a ton of other patches, which is also fantastic because it's still a Bethesda game, which means it has some bugs, but still one of the best experiences on PlayStation VR.
The 80s are back. Tons of patches. Remember?
Am I not getting the reference here?
Jean jackets, the 80s. Tons of patches.
Patches on
Oh,
jeans.
patches.
Yeah.
Patches.
Remember those days?
Got it.
Yeah. I'm all caught up.
Yeah.
Everyone have the Guns N' Roses and, the Misfits or whatever that might have been.
Metallica.
Yeah, unfortunately, Metallica, all the stuff. I hear sirens, but too far away to do it. Yeah.
Unless they can be picked up on a microphone.
Then they don't count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sony also, if you guys don't know this already, then the PlayStation Experience is right around the corner.
Yeah.
PlayStation Experience is like the 9th and 10th, I think, of December. Days away. And so we'll try to cover that the best we can. I hate when they do things on the weekend because that makes life difficult for me. But more importantly, they said that there's going to be this conference regarding PlayStation VR, and it's going to be two developer. What did they actually say? I was going to say developer giants. Two game developing legends, and they are going to discuss PlayStation VR and the struggles and the intricacies that they've learned from developing for this hardware. And so the big question out there, of course, right now is who are these two game developer legends
Makes it sound so epic.
Who have been secretly working on a PlayStation VR game?
Right.
Could it be Hideo Kojima?
The very first name that comes to mind for everybody is Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro.
He would be amazing,
because they were working on PT together.
Yeah.
Which was, of course, Silent Hills.
They're so sneaky.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I mean,
they're also working on Death Stranding together. Yeah. And suddenly, is Death Stranding going to be a VR game?
I mean, you never know.
That's how rumors start, Brian.
Yeah.
But legit, like, if it's anybody else, everyone's going to go, oh. Right?
Yeah.
Because there's so much buzz about this right now. Because the first name that comes to mind can you even think of another
legend
that isn't Nintendo, that isn't Shigeru Miyamoto?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't see him or them developing a game that would just be either VR or like Resident Evil. I feel like if they were going to do it, they would do it, you know?
Oh, all in.
Yeah.
So you don't
I don't think they would develop a game utilizing VR that the then flat screen people will not be able to utilize in their game experience. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't know if they would create two separate experiences like that.
What's the probability that Death Stranding this whole time has just been a PlayStation VR game?
That would be awesome.
That would be mind-blowing. That would be the biggest announcement of the year.
For us, though. Devastating for all other Sony PlayStation people that don't own a VR headset.
But how many of those people would go, maybe it's time to buy one?
That's true,
I hear this Skyrim thing's pretty epic.
People are so sensitive, though. They'll take it personal and be like, oh, it's kind of like when Nintendo announced the Wii. The gamers who everyone's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, but then what happened?
Yeah, everybody it was the best-selling one. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Tell me you don't have a Wii in your closet.
True.
I've got
and you know it's in your closet.
Yeah.
I'm holding up all the skeletons.
I'm on board. I already own everything. I got it. You know, that game would be mine.
Yeah.
But either way, that'd be definitely a good selling tool.
I really hope that it's one of these. You know, I hope it's a Resident Evil 7 concept. I hope it's Death Stranding.
So when are they
also
doing
in
this?
VR. That's what I hope. What's that?
When are they doing this?
The conference?
Yeah.
Well, the conference is the 9th and 10th. I think that this one specifically, I want to say the 9th, but I feel like I read the 10th this morning. But either way, we'll know this weekend.
For sure. Yep.
For sure. And then finally, the coolest news is that Farpoint finally got the PvP update. So go download the update and go do some PvP.
Yeah.
It's 1v1, but then you can kind of build your own armies. And I want my own army.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Epic. Yeah.
Somebody wanted us to fight against each other.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read it in a comment.
Challenge.
Challenge accepted.
All right.
Awesome.
That
We
pretty
didn't
much
even rehearse.
Right?
No one ever rehearses. It's the Midnight Gamescast.
I think that wraps up the wrap-up.
Oh, God, I wish we'd rehearse a different line. Then that wraps up the wrap-up.
It's a great line.
When are we going to
Simple.
do the PvP?
I'll PvP you. All right.
That definitely wraps up the wrap-up.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in. That's pretty much all the news we had to cover this week. Make sure you come back tomorrow for the best 20 minutes of your week. PlayStation VR Theater. Look at that. We did rehearse. It was amazing. Where were you?
Yeah.
You never show up for the meetings.
She missed it.
He never
She
shows
was
up for the
pregnant
meetings.
up in the mountains 2 hours away somewhere, hanging out.
Mountains.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Hippies. Yeah, as always, I'm Brian. That's Jeremy. This is Michelle. We'll see you tomorrow.
Adios.
Pregnant up in the mountains somewhere?
Yeah. Hanging on a hammock. Cat jumping out at you.
No one cares about your fucking hammock.
I'm scared to go in the hammock now.
Yeah.
I think people care about your fucking hammock now.
Why
I
would you?
think people finally understand the show. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, go.
Why?
Speak.
Because I feel like I'm too fat to go in a hammock now.
No, stop it, Michelle.
I feel like it'll break. Or even if it doesn't break, I feel like the risk factor is too high at this point.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I think for a hammock, you're not too heavy. I think the weight distribution is oddly placed.
It is oddly placed. I also think it's a little too risky at this point.
Yeah.
Flip over, fall.
Right.
Yeah, no falling.
No.
Yeah.
No.
What if you fell on scruffs? It would be disastrous.
Oh, little scruffs.